Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and those beyond the binary. This is The Between. Welcome back. We're so glad to return after a couple weeks off. My name is Alex Rubitsky, and I will be the keeper for this gothic tale. My hunters may, as always, introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Wes Franks. I'm with Carrying Cover Studios. I'm the creative director and the founder over there. My pronouns are he, they, and for this evening, I'm so very excited to be back playing Ross Fontenot, the American.
Hello, everyone. I'm Meg. I'm a DM's Guild author and writer, and tonight, for all of you, I'll be playing the scandalous Carla host.
Hi everybody, my name is Jordan. I am an actor and musical composer, and tonight I'm going to be playing the Mad Dr. Cal Murdoch.
Hi everybody, my name is Shelby, or Shooby-Dooby-Doo. I'm a Twitter artist and a regular TTRPG player over on Roll for Damage. But tonight I'll be playing Pyra, the legacy of Hargrave House.
Alrighty. Good to see you all once again. So, we are going to begin here very shortly. But as first, let's get some quick pre-show announcements out of the way. We want to give special thanks to our friends over at Session Zero Clothing and Accessories. As always, you can use promo code FAILSAFE at their website for 10% off your order. I think they're adding new inventory soon, so I'd highly recommend going to check them out. Buy a shirt, buy a pin, buy a hat, live your best life. Additionally, we plugged this last week as part of the little one-off show we did with Jason Cordova, but we'll also plug it again. Brindlewood Bay is currently crowdfunding on Kickstarter. They have smashed through, I think, 13 of their stretch goals. So please go over to their Kickstarter and support them however you can. At this point, it's no longer supporting them. It's just, please throw your money at them. It's they have great stuff.
They're over 3,000% funded.
Yeah.
Please make that number go higher.
Yes, please do.
I mean,
And
4,000?
are there any other before the show announcements we got to give from anybody, or I think we're good? Last thing is, as always, if you'd like to support what you're watching, down below we have linked our Coffee and a Stream Elements donation page. If you donate to the Stream Elements page, all the funds go to us, the cast members you currently see on camera, and all the funds given to the Coffee page go to the channel itself to bring you more content. With that said, and without further ado, I say we get right into this evening's chapter of The Between and see what tales unfold. So, distinguished guests watching at home, hunters joining me here, let us begin. We will see you all shortly. So, whence we previously left the Hunters of Hargrave House, a few interesting events transpired over the course of the last chapter. Certainly not the least of which was the confrontation between Ross Fontenot, Carla Holst, and Winslow Taggart, the Pinkerton, a bloody shootout and fight outside of Hargrave House that resulted in Winslow being beaten to a bloody pulp, threatened to have his criminal enterprises exposed, brutally maimed and disfigured, and then sent sprinting off into the rain back to America to tell everyone that Julius Fontenot is dead. In addition to that, let's see, you guys had resolved the Pinkerton. You had decided not to answer any more questions about the figs until Shelby had returned to us, but you did investigate the actual figs pie shop, and where you met Rag, the street urchin that Ross had befriended, who seems to be fond of the figs, seems to view them as close friends for being the only people in London to treat him right. And you avoided a reality where Rag was struck by a passing coach and killed by putting on a mask, and got some more clues, learned a little bit more about the figs. We'll recap those clues for Shelby's sake here in a moment. Oh, and yes, I believe Winslow made a horrifying mistake by trying to kidnap Carla. And yeah, and at the very end of it, my favorite little tidbit was the fact that our fucking newly introduced cult member D.I. Pettigrew to Carla's cult came out with a bunch of wagons and just cleaned up the scene of the massacre out in Belgrave Square. So that is where we previously left things. So I believe, let us finish resolving the dawn phase. We will go over all this right now. Let's see. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is actually collect rewards for defeating the Pinkerton, because we have resolved that threat. Let's see, where did I put the Pinkerton? Oh, yeah, there it is. It is all bundled up in my trash can because I thought we were done with it and I forgot about the reward section of the sheet. But yes, so the rewards for defeating the Pinkerton, or resolving, I should say. I'll go through all 5 of these. One of them is Taggart's 1848 Baby Dragoon revolver handgun that can be added to your personal quarters. One of Taggart's side knives with an adder carved onto the handle is another reward option. And then 3 memento from the investigation options. So I feel like it's fitting that Ross, you get first pick for which reward you'd like to take from this investigation.
Oh, Mr. Keeper, that's very kind of you to allow me that. Let's see here. I've got a gun of my own right now, which is kind of a thing. I did receive my big fuck off Bowie knife.
You
correct?
did get the big fuck off Bowie knife back.
All right, that's good. That's good. And as much as I want his revolver, his Dragoon, Baby Dragoon pistol, and one of those knives sounds pretty nice, I think it would be very, very becoming to allow somebody to provide me with a reward that they think I would have taken as a trophy from.
All right, who would you like to ask?
Taggart.
Who would you like to ask, Ross, to give you this reward?
I'm gonna roll a dice. That seems
fantastic.
very becoming. There's
Phenomenal.
3 of them. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a 6-sided dice. Shelby, 1, 2, Jordan, 3, 4. Pardon me, burpee baby. And then Carla, 5, 6. That is a 2. So Shelby, go ahead.
What memento from the investigation with the Pinkerton does Ross take away?
You took the lip that you tore off his face.
Well, he ate that. He ate that.
Shit, you ate them? Okay,
Yeah, he ate them.
Then.
I believe in Wes's words, he slurped them like spaghetti, much to
dear
all of our
God.
discomfort. Yeah.
That was awesome. That's awesome. But damn.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Great
I have
option,
another one. You took his bolo tie.
Nice. That's really. Do you like
Ross
that,
got
Wes?
a new tie.
I do.
Taggard's.
I was gonna have you have a little companion for your gator toe, but
You may add Taggard's bolo tie to your personal quarters. I love the idea that because you did grab him by like the collar, like I love it that you like ripped his bolo tie free, and
that also just seems like the biggest insult between 2 Southern gentlemen taking his bolo tie.
That's the thing. That's the worst part. He's not even Southern. He's from Chicago. So he's false.
So he's a fake. So no, you're just protecting your
Oh
heritage.
well, actually, in that case, do you want it to be a bolo tie or a bow tie he had?
I want to make it a bolo tie.
Bolo
I like
tie?
the
Love
idea
it,
that he's
love it.
wearing a bolo tie, and I'm like, you
Fucking
don't wear
asshole.
that.
Yeah,
don't get to
absolutely.
wear that.
I love that.
Damn.
All right, so that's your word. I'm also going to let Carla take second picks because of that fight at the end there.
I'll take the knife. I'll take
All right.
Taggart's adder knife.
The adder knife, excellent. Add that to your personal quarters. And Pyra and Cal, I'm blanked on your name there for a moment. What would you like to take away from this investigation? Memento, we have 2 more of those left, or the baby dragoon gun.
Oh, go for it. Go for it.
Kind of with the gun.
All right, you can add.
Pyra with the gun sounds fucking awesome.
You may add Taggart's 1848 baby dragoon to your personal quarters.
Here's
Holy
gonna make
shit.
mistakes. With
And so that leaves a memento for you, Cal. Who would you like to ask for the memento you receive?
This is the Pinkerton. This is a villain very much centered around the American. Wes, give me a memento. Give me a memento that feels right. That feels right.
You received a potent dose of the drugs that Taggart was making.
The forget-me-nots, is that what we called
The
them?
Yeah.
forget-me-nots.
The
Yeah.
forget-me-nots.
Oh, that's such a great name. What the fuck?
Oh wait! Oh,
Mhm.
his names came to me because I just watched the Batman again for the umpteenth time. What if we call them forget-me-drops? Like,
Forget-me-drops.
because they're little
I like
drop
that.
candies. The forget-me-drops. I love that.
Forget-me-drops.
Love that. That's
We're not gonna call it Jingle Jangle like Riverdale.
no, we're not gonna call it Jingle Jingle.
Just wanna-
Man, now I want a card from Brindlewood Riverdale game. Jason, get on it. Or anyone in the Gauntlet community who has the sanity to do that. Alrighty.
Sanity.
This,
Fucking forget me drops.
you need it. You would need
gonna
it.
drug somebody soon.
Okay, great. Those are the rewards. That wraps that up. Let's answer Dawn questions one by one. This applies for the last session as well. So, Ross, did you answer a question last session? I believe you
Yeah, we
did.
did the figs last session.
Did you answer a fig question last session?
Yeah.
I think we answered.
Patrick.
over-
Animal.
No,
Yeah.
you answered Patrick. That's right, because you did. You figured out he was a and was it an owl?
An owl.
An
Yeah,
owl.
it was an owl.
He is pretending to be an owl. Great. Did you resolve a threat? Yes, you did. Let's see. It might be hard to recall since it's been a couple weeks, but did you experience an echo in the night? No. All right. Alrighty.
Our dear Dr. Cal was doing a night work, a little bit of night work.
Yes, very true. Did you use violence to solve a problem? Yes, you did. And did you stick out in London society for all the wrong reasons? Yes, you did. Great.
Oh, I
You may
love that
mark
question.
4 experience, Ross. All right,
Booyakasha.
Cal. Let's see. You did answer a question. You did resolve a threat. Did you experience an echo in the night? Did you echo anything that was happening with the fight?
Yeah, I echoed a few things in the fight.
Great. Mark it. Did you dismiss the possibility of a supernatural explanation despite everything you've experienced? I don't recall you doing so.
Ross's finger reattaching.
Oh, yes, you did.
He was
That's
unsure.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Did you secretly engage in a romantic or emotional behavior at odds with your aloof, logical exterior?
The only thing that I can think about would be him opening up to Ross, but other than that, I don't think so. But I think.
I'll allow
like,
it.
I'll give it to you. I'm generous. Let's give you that advancement,
Okay.
boy. You get all 5 XP.
Dude, I'm gonna be so fucking strong.
Did we just get Tasmanian Jordan for a little?
Yes, we did. That's not rare. That happens quite frequently.
Yeah, I make that sound a lot. Oh, what do I want to do?
I'll let you think about it for a little bit. Let's see. Carla, you answered a question, you resolved a threat. Did you set up an echo in the night for yourself from with the hospital stuff that we were doing with the unseen last time?
I tried, if I remember correctly, I was trying to echo Jordan's whole, people freezing and then dropping dead with what Carla was doing with some of the guys she was fighting, but
I
it's a little
will.
fuzzy.
No. I'll be generous. I'll give it to you. If that was
Fair
your
enough.
intent, and I will give it to you. Did you express a clear preference for the beautiful over the mundane?
Maybe her scene with the man in the sun mask?
I would agree so, and I also believe you also very much described her walking through London in homely clothing as an uncomfortable experience for her. And then did you create an ornate, over-the-top erotic experience for someone else's pleasure? No, you did not. But so you may mark 4 experience. That gives you enough of you advance.
For an advancement, yes.
Excellent. Pyra, did you answer a question? Yes. Did you resolve a threat? Yes. You were not here, so you did not experience an echo in the night.
Nope.
Did you revel in the thrill of the hunt during the... I don't think you were here, so...
No.
Between things that... Yeah, that's okay. So, that's fine. But you mark 2 XP, but that also gives you an advance. Plus 1. Great. So I'll let everyone think on their advances if you received one. And
I might work with you to write a custom move after
absolutely.
show.
Absolutely. And then after you may mark a new elective dawn question if you so choose. You may replace, you may mark new ones. We don't have any Janus mask prompts that need resolving. That's okay. Let us take a look. Okay.
We still need resolve night work.
Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at that right now. Oh, also the American, so the quickening conditions end. All right. And the mother, yes. So Cal, what night work options are you choosing from this previous evening?
Cal's night work was, for lack of better words, shitty. The body parts that he came across are not fit for the child. I would like to claim 3 body parts, but put them towards my special move, It's Alive.
Okay.
Poor Cal.
Fair enough.
Oh shit, my chair just fucking sank.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, I think that resolves everything for the dawn phase. Yeah, I believe so. I'm just double checking everyone's moves really quickly.
Just a small question.
Yeah.
So I picked up the Resurrectionist as my next move.
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a
And I noticed it
fun
has a
one.
little dawn tick. Does that take place during the dawn phase, or do I have to activate that during the dusk phase?
So the dawn tick is that I believe it ends during the dawn phase is when it triggers the result. During the dusk phase, would you actually just read the new move you picked and let
As a
everyone know
matter of
what
fact, I would.
Go for it.
All right, so I have picked out the Resurrectionists, a gang of grave robbers led by a man called Harley White. Dingy workman's clothes, cracked teeth, smells of graveyard, is loyal to you. Each dusk phase, yeah, there it is. Pick 2. The grave robbers will dig up corpses that night. During the dawn phase, acquire a body part for the child. The grave robbers will search for other valuables that night. During the dawn phase, ask another hunter what they found and add it to your personal quarters. A grave robber, either Harley or another, will accompany you during the upcoming night phase. Take the following condition, ghoulish. Any rolls associated with actions the grave robber is helping you with are taken at advantage, and you'll face no blowback or complications from any criminal activities the grave robbers get up to that night.
Very good.
I get to pick 2.
Yeah.
2 things.
What advancement did you pick, Carla?
I decided to unmark all of the boxes on my masterwork. I will note this does not necessarily change or remove
No, it
any
does
of
not.
them.
Okay.
The
But
scarring
I'm
remains.
But I'm back up to a nice tidy 12 instead of
Fantastic.
inching closer to, well, whatever comes after that.
Indeed. And Pyra, did you pick what advancement are you picking? Custom move?
Yeah,
right.
I want to talk to you about
Yeah.
it after show.
Just go ahead and mark the box. That just so
Yeah.
that you know that you have that.
I've already got it marked, I think, unless I didn't.
I don't
Yes,
believe
it's
you do.
marked. It should be. It's marked on my end.
Oh, is it? I'll refresh. Oh, I meant mark the custom move. Oh, no, yeah, I got you. Yep, you're there. You're good. Yeah, yes, I see that. That's fine. It's highlighted because you marked that other one. Gotcha. I remember how this thing works. Yeah, we'll absolutely write a custom move, and also probably consult the Gauntlet community because they gave us a great number of ideas for Jordan's custom move, which was super helpful. We love you guys.
I have one that could be really cool.
I love it. I'll send you all the information. We'll talk about how to make custom moves. Alrighty, I believe that brings the dawn phase to a close. Let's talk about the day phase. I'm going to do something a little funky and wild, and I'm going to introduce not a normal threat. I'm going to introduce our first side threat, which I will describe what these mean. Let me just change the music here for a second. I'll do this one. So this is a side threat. It is introduced like other threats, but it does not count towards the limit of 3 active threats. There can only ever be 1 active side threat, and you can use its masks. You can use its mask whenever. It doesn't have to be in relative to this investigation. But this side threat is called the Reaver's Last Victim. And I'll read the text here. It says, years ago, a former member of Hargrave House was captured and executed after it was discovered that he was the legendary serial killer Roger the Reaver. A shadow was lifted off of London back then, but some of its darkness remains to this day. The remains of his last victim, Anton Farrow, were never found. Every year, on the day of his death, one of Anton's family members has come to Hargrave House to lay down a bouquet of flowers, lacking a better place to do so. However, this year, they knocked on the door. When you opened the door, a middle-aged man, William Farrow, stood before you, saying, "You know, my mother, Anton's mother, has gotten really sick. She's old and life has taken a lot out of her. I don't think she has that much time left. I just wish she could know that Anton found some peace before she dies. You are supposed to be so good at this kind of stuff. How come none of you ever found him, eh? I guess you would have to care." After delivering his speech, he placed the flowers on the ground and left. Pyra, you are the hunter who has been with Hargrave House the longest. You have known Roger personally while you both worked at Hargrave House. You knew what he was doing long before he was caught. Why did you never do anything about it?
Because my uncle told me not to make waves. He told me to keep quiet because Hargrave House's integrity could not be damaged.
I love that. Excellent. Special rule for this side threat. The information move is not available while you're investigating the Reaver's last victim. Rather, once per day, whenever the hunters take the time to do so, they can narrate a short scene where they visit one of the crime scenes of Roger the Reaver, talk to relatives of the victims, go through official records, or do similar work. They must name and describe one of the victims as part of this. If they do so, they find a clue. They tell the keeper what it is. It cannot conclusively answer the question. The question is, where are the remains of Anton Farrow hidden? That has a complexity of 2. Another thing. Roger the Reaver is long dead and buried. His grave is well known and features on several cemetery tours. You have 3 night phases to resolve this threat before the Pharaoh's mother dies and gets no peace from her son's murder. In 3 night phases, yeah, that'll be kaput.
How dare you?
That so
Good thing I've checked this motherfucker out already, huh?
Yeah, so the wording I believe here, it says whenever the hunters take the time to do so, it's once per day. I believe that means cumulatively. I think you can only I'm not sure it's like one hunter can do it per day. I think it is in total, no matter how many of you are working on it, once per day you guys get to find a clue for it by narrating a scene. If right. That's on the table. Excellent. Fantastic. All right, regular scenes commence. Let's take a moment because it's been a couple weeks. Let's recap some things we know about our current active threats, and let's look at our conditions. Ross has no conditions, lucky boy. Cal currently has spiteful. Carla has Sons of Another World from her conversation with the man in the sun mask. And Pyra has Most Beloved, as always, and Bloodthirsty still. So can't wait to see how these conditions enter your roleplay. And let's take a look at our threats. So our active threats. The Pinkerton has been resolved. I'm going to remove him from the board. And I'm leaving the creature of Cremorne Gardens up still because you can still answer the questions even if you can't resolve that threat. Oh, let me do it again. But for Fig's Pigs, which I believe is the only other active threat aside from Reaver's Last Victim. Oh no, the Whatley Camera. Thank you. The Whatley Camera is also active. So for Fig's Pigs, you have answered what kind of animal does Patrick Fig think he is? He's an owl. And Obert the Blade prefers blonde, uniformed people in their prime. People who work hard and have hardy bodies and blonde hair. They wear buttons on their uniforms. Very, very, vague, but I like it. And then so the last question that remains is, what did La Hortensia Fig lose that she's trying to recapture? Remember, the clues that are available that you have left are a book with flowers that say "For My Sweet One," a wedding dress from La Hortensia's chest, and a dog collar and leash size for a thick neck. That is the 3 clues you have remaining for Fig's Pigs. You can keep finding more. The Whatley Camera question is, what circumstances will cause someone photographed by the camera to disappear? And you have found 2 clues for that. A book on the phases of the moon, and a vision of a wall of hieroglyphs in ancient Egypt with the camera depicted in its hieroglyphs. And as a reminder, the Society Obscura is a location relative to a camera society where people went missing. All right, that is, I believe, that brings us up to speed. Regular scenes may now commence. Hunters, what would you like to do? Who would like to do things today? And what would you like to do?
I think I'm going to...
Go for it.
I think I'm going to visit the Society Obscura, like I was trying to do last time before Taggart made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Doc's already been on a... No, okay, go for it.
No, go for it. You're ready. You're ready.
I was gonna say, Doc's kind of already been on a Roger the Reaver streak. So, are we like actively revisiting a crime scene, or are we narrating that we visited?
The rule is that you basically, this is what you're choosing to do for a kind of one of your things for the day phase, is that you get to narrate a short scene where you visit one of the crime scenes of Roger the Reaver, talk to relatives of the victims, go through official records, or do something similar to that work. You just have to narrate a short scene that shows what you are investigating, and you have to name a victim of Roger the Reaver in that scene. You have to describe, we're fleshing out this lore a little bit. You must name and describe one of the victims that has been killed as a part of this, and then you get to create a clue and you get to tell me what it is.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
All right, so you're gonna investigate to look into the Reaver's last victim, possibly. You've been on that Reaver streak, and that's good payoff. Yeah, Ross, what are you thinking about doing?
I would like to go to the Society as well to investigate the Whatley Camera, but I would also like to have a scene with Pyra first as well.
Oh, okay.
Because Pyra's been getting her shit rocked for a while.
Fantastic.
So,
and in addition to that, Pyra, what are you hoping to accomplish today?
It's been a couple weeks, so you'll need to remind me. Is answering a question a part of the day phase?
Yes. Yes, it is. You're allowed.
I wanted to attempt to answer the La Hortensia question.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, with the 3 remaining clues that exist for that one, that's absolutely a thing you can do.
I think I can answer it.
Why don't we start with answering a question, since that's a group activity, and then we'll do we'll move through some other scenes. I love that. All right. So let me just change the music to our usual answering a question music.
Mhm. So I had an idea in which that would utilize all 3 clues that made sense for Miss Hortensia.
Okay, our ears are open. Let's hear it.
I believe that La Hortensia is searching for a child she miscarried. Her wedding dress is a reminder of perhaps the night her child was conceived. Maybe it was quickly after she married her husband.
The eldest.
The flowers for my sweet one. When you lose a child, it's very common to collect flowers like forget-me-nots or baby's breath, because they are typically flowers that are used in mourning for a lost child. And I believe that dog leash with the thick collar is representative of how she tried to fill that void.
Oh, she
losing
like
a child, she got a dog.
she got a dog.
try and, like-
Oh my gosh.
And that leads very strongly into like how is she trying to recapture or remember? And that clue is a failed attempt to recapture remember a pet
That's
that did
clever.
not fill the void. That's really interesting.
I really like that.
Yeah.
To jump in, like
Please.
I was kind of thinking for a while that like she was trying to recapture like a dead fig as well, like her daughter. Like I was thinking like a daughter
A
possibly.
miscarried daughter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
a
there is no
miscarried
female
daughter.
fig child, so I mean like yeah,
No,
that's I love that.
Mhm.
She wanted I mean, if you think about it, the perfect family unit that,
Mhm.
you know, you could think of as, you know, a mom, a dad, and a son and daughter, because it's the complete picture. She just wants that full family.
Yeah,
And-
I
and-
heard
Cursed Obert.
And when you think about, you know, how close all the figs are, I wonder if that's not like a trauma response from her. Just like, you know, I already lost one, I can't lose the other ones too. Everything must be perfect.
That
would
could
explain
explain why she attacked Pyra the way she did too, with the
Mhm,
traps.
why she set
'cause
so
The
many
Pyra was-
traps.
She's trying to.
because I was
trap.
actively trying to kill Obert at the time.
Yeah.
I
She
like
couldn't
it.
lose another child.
Just do it? Was that Is that it?
I think that's pretty fantastic.
That's fucking solid.
So like okay, so then yeah, so the book of with flowers for my sweet one, La Hortensia's wedding dress. It was the night. So this would be the eldest fig child before the others were born. This
Miracle
was
baby, she found out maybe a month after she was married. Oh my God, I'm with child. Isn't that so exciting? And then she lost it.
conceived during her honeymoon with Titus Fig, which might I add, La Hortensia is from Spain. Yeah, it's little flavor, but like when you're picturing this dress, it is a very Spanish wedding dress. It is gorgeous. I love this. That's phenomenal. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm with that. So that is using 3 clues. That gives you a +1 to the roll. Pyra, why don't you do the honors then, since you're the one who proposed theory? Roll 2d6, add a 1 to it, and let's see if you can answer this question.
8.
8. So there will be an unwelcome complication to the answer, or pursuing the opportunity you unlock from this will be more dangerous. Let us see.
Pyra never shies away from danger.
No, you never do. An unwelcome
Never.
complication to the
Oh,
answer.
We
Oh,
just
my.
lost a Wes. We
Uh-oh.
lost. We lost a Ross.
Oh no, our cameras
Oh.
got thrown out of whack. Hold on.
Ah.
Folks, we will be right back. Hold on.
His powers flickered.
Oh no. Okay, give me one moment. I'm gonna move us over to another thing.
My face is still in my box. Let's
Wait,
go.
I've become Ross. I'm the
I'm
American.
aware.
Right, so I'm okay. So I'm not Pyra anymore. I'm someone else.
You are someone else.
I'm someone else.
Zara,
I don't have a
Zara?
sword. Don't look at the.
Meg
don't
is
look
still
at all the
half of
blood.
Carla.
I'm still half of Carla.
Half.
I'm about to move cameras. Hold on.
Are we getting scooted around?
You are getting scooted around. Let's see. And I need to. Oh, okay. I need to swap Pyra and Ross on the thing real quick. Bear with us, everyone. Sorry for the technical. We have actually a good streak of no technical difficulties. So like
Kinda
honestly,
great.
Yeah.
Well,
not
to be
bad.
fair, this is less a technical difficulty and more
Oh.
cast member lost power.
There he is.
Hey,
There he is.
hello, Wes.
Okay,
We can't hear
currently,
you.
Also, it seems to be the night technical difficulties, but because for some reason
There
my
we go.
computer is not registering my mic.
oh no.
So,
No worries. Let us adjust and we'll edit this out in post.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Alrighty. So, Pyra, you just rolled an 8. So an 8 is an unwelcome complication, or the situation is more dangerous. Here's what I'm going to. Here's what I'm thinking, because this is just what popped to mind. And remember, you all can invoke a you would all have to put on masks to bump this roll up. But here's what I'm thinking, because the answer is So it was her daughter, a miscarried daughter that she is trying to recapture or remember. An unwelcome complication. I'm thinking about this, and I'm trying to think of what you have an idea, Meg?
So Shelby has the most beloved.
Yes, she does. Oh
I
my
wonder
god.
if La Hortensia thinks that Shelby might be a good replacement for her daughter.
I think that's fantastic. I think that's actually really good, is that she's not trying. So we have Obert who's trying to kill you. Patrick hasn't done anything. Patrick is an animal boy.
Patrick's an owl, but he's gonna die all the same.
But I think oh, I love that. So La Hortensia is trying to essentially kidnap you and brainwash you into being her surrogate daughter. Oh, I have an idea. If I'd actually like to add this to your theory. Obert and this miscarried Fig daughter were twins, fraternal twins. One miscarried,
yes.
Obert survived, and the reason why Obert targets blonde victims is because it's that subconscious knowledge of his daughter, his sister would have been blonde. Yeah. What's up, Jordan?
How about a little bit of extra fucked up icing on the cake? What if he fucking like ate her, like halfway out?
Oh, ate her. Oh, ate her in the womb. Oh, actually.
And that's kind of where the downward spiral of cannibalism started. Like it was from the very beginning. Like I've kind of had ideas about Obert kind of wanting to replace like a sister. So it's like instead of trying to kill Pyra, like he's trying to be beaten for once. But like
interesting.
All of his victims keep dying.
Obert needs me to prove it.
Obert needs you to prove it. And La Hortensia is trying to take you in.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But you know, they clearly know Pyra. Like they know who she is. And if they do, they all that means they know that Pyra's home shit. So that would make perfect sense.
Yeah, from one twin, like one twin to another.
Yes,
because they both lost.
They would know
twins.
if they knew. If they knew me, they would know Pyra's twin died, and recently too. That was like only a couple years ago.
I love that. That's fantastic. This
is so fucked. I love it.
That's super fucked.
I'm gonna kill them all. It's fine. They're all going to die.
So you have actually unlocked the opportunities for all three figs. Remember, all three figs must be dealt with before the threat can be resolved.
Oh no, they will be.
They can be captured or destroyed. So that is what is allowed. Alrighty, fantastic. That's great. I think let's go ahead and. I want to hear from Cal. I want you to narrate this short sequence of Dr. Murdoch doing some investigative work into Roger the Reaver, into previous victims, previous crime scenes, whatever you decide to do. And I'd like to hear you name and describe one of the previous victims. So are you think you're ready to give something out like that?
Or would you like? The question had me really distracted.
Would you like a minute? I can give you a minute. Totally fun.
Yeah. If I can have a minute to think it over.
Let's do I think we should do. I was gonna say let's do a vulnerable move with Pyra and Ross, but well, she's gone. She's left the building. That's totally fine. I think we should go over to the Society Obscura.
I think we should go over to the Society Obscura. Let's do that.
Excellent. Let's see. All. Righty then. Let me find. Yes, and also as a reminder, y'all have a standing invitation to a party at Brathwaite Hall coming up in the near future. The thing said 3 nights hence, but so I think we can decide how close you are to that date, whether that is 3 nights from now or if that is tomorrow night or tonight or whatever you guys want to think of. We'll roll with that.
What if we did it tonight? Do we want to deal with a fig tonight?
We'll see.
We should wait for.
We will see. All right, the Whatley Camera. So let's see. Okay. Ross and Carla, you two set out to visit the Society Obscura, a club for photography enthusiasts. That is at their let's see, it is their converted townhouse in Kensington. So you guys make your way there. I'm just going over all of my notes on this very quickly. Let's see. Yeah. I just love reading these characters. All right, very well. You arrive at this townhouse that is home to the Society Obscura in Kensington. Carla and Ross, what would you like to do?
You wanna...
Yeah.
Dear Miss Holtz, Carla, would you like to lead the way of discussion? I can kind of keep my eyes on folks.
I think that sounds like a wonderful plan. And Carla's just going to head on inside.
Fantastic. Well, you just walk through the front. No knock, no entrance. You just head in.
I'm just going in.
Okay. You open the front door into the townhouse. You know, there's a little room. I'd say there's like a coat rack that is like adorned with people's, various. I think we're getting into like autumn is what we described before.
Yeah.
So it's getting a little colder, a little rainier. So people have like rain cloaks and warmer coats that are stretched out on racks. This place, it is filled with the smell of cigarette smoke and sweat. Which is a very intoxicating scent to you, Carla. Let's see. Well, as you walk in, what are you looking to do here?
Looking to talk with someone. Probably just, Actually, I'm looking to talk with people, but I think Carla's actually here, interested in getting a photo taken.
Phenomenal.
Possibly.
Okay. And what is Ross looking to do entering this place?
Well, keeping in the spirit of having an appearance and everything like that, I can either be, we could be a pair of models that are always looking to be photographed, or I can be your security, whatever is more believable. The famed Carla, or whatever.
I mean,
Want to use a nom de plume.
She has done some modeling in the past.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. I actually like to remind everybody, because the chat just kind of reminded me of this. So with the unique nature of how the figs are handled, you are able to resolve 2 of the 3 figs during a day phase. Just the last fig has to be dealt with during the night phase. As always, because you can't resolve a threat until the night phase, but you can resolve the other 2. All right, let's see. Yes, you enter the Society Obscura to this wafting smell of smoke and sweat. Lounging all around the townhouse are the various members of the Society Obscura. People of all backgrounds are here. Many different shapes, sizes, people from, well, truly any walk of life. They are very much enjoying one another's bodies at the club. And approaching you first is a pretty man, although I think the term would be a houseboy, but this is this is an adult man, though probably, early 20s, very young, but very well sculpted, lean muscle in a very revealing costume. Let's say it is like a someone give me a costume. I'm open to suggestions. Like a revealing costume that this houseboy wears.
Is it like a pirate?
He's wearing something resembling a Roman toga.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot. A Roman toga. Yeah. A very revealing short Roman toga that just barely crests the middle of the thighs. He has small bejeweled feet. And he walks up and he says, "Welcome. Hello. Welcome to the Society Obscura. Can I get you a drink or a cigar, perhaps? I'm here to please. And he like looks over at you, Ross, and like trails a finger down your arm and says, "In any way you fancy."
I'll take a drink, darling. What's your name?
Periwinkle Underwood. And you are?
Oh, I've got a couple different names. The one that artist circles I like using is Adelaine.
Adelaine, of course, of course. Well, welcome. I'll get you a drink. And for you, sir?
I'll take a cigar.
Of course. He moves away and just kind of lingers his eyes on the both of you. But, pushing past, not like brusquely, just kind of like stepping over, is a woman with this semi-sheer black kaftan, hair braided up to look like a crown, very small, tight mouth. She walks up to you and she says, "Welcome, hello. What brings you to the Society Obscura?"
I'll say that Carla's probably wearing something. She's probably wearing something from the Regency era, honestly. About, at this point, almost 70 years ago. But something, very tight-fitting, very revealing. Let's not mince words. And she says, "Well, I've always, forgive me, I used to do quite a bit of modeling in Paris."
Did you know?
And I did.
Are
I did.
you enthusiasts of photography?
Well, that's just it. I've never had a photograph.
Have not.
I've had plenty of portraits, you see, but...
There is something divine about having your picture taken. The camera first sees us, then it reveals us. Many people don't like what they see in the image because they know it is the truth. One cannot hide from the lens, no matter how hard one tries. Are you afraid of the truth, Adelaine?
Oh, certainly not.
Well, welcome. Would you like me to show you around?
Yes, please.
And is this finely cut gentleman from another land your lover, bodyguard, model, manager?
Ross and
Yes,
I
you're there.
Welcome. I'm Portia Abernathy. I am the founder of the Society Obscura. Welcome. Allow me to show you around. And she will lead you deeper in. I think now, are you ready, Jordan, to give a little brief noticing?
Yeah, we can do this.
Let's hear about it.
So Marco Weber was a victim of Roger the Reaver. The crime scene was set out actually in a graveyard. He was working the graveyard shift, keeping things tended and fine. But when he was found much like how the doctor had found. Oh gosh, I totally lost my words. I don't remember. Did we ever name the last victim that he was investigating before?
Well,
they found him the same way that they found the woman in the brothel, where it was just a mess, but meticulous and numbered. It seems like, well, the last time he was here, there was a code. Like always, there was a code. There were puzzles and the like. But instead of family, the doc had spoken to one of his coworkers. Specifically the person that he actually would kind of like trade in shifts with. And it was strange because the person was still shifty, as if they had found him that way to begin with. And the doctor asked him, "Was there anything of note? Possibly a calling card, anything like that?" And the person said, "Well, there was a postcard. I'm not quite sure where it's from though. It was scribbled out, but there was this hillside with a a tree on it. Yes. And he kind of sketched out this postcard and gave
fantastic.
it to Cal. Yeah, so I guess the clue is a postcard with the location scribbled away.
Oh, okay.
But the postcard with a notable landmark.
Okay.
It's scribbled away.
A postcard with a notable landmark. I love that.
Mhm.
Okay, that's great. And what was the victim's name again?
Marco Webster.
Marco
Weber.
Marco Weber. Fantastic. And indeed, as you go about your investigation, and yeah, that is what you were doing. You dig up this postcard through just interviewing people. Is that what you said?
Yeah. He interviewed. It kind of went like it started from the person in question who was trading shifts over with Marco, and eventually I think it kind of led him to going back to police files and finding possibly finding the card itself if it's still in
Fantastic.
still in the inventory.
I would say it is. And
Okay.
as you are conducting your little investigation throughout London, you see a sight. An old dead man is carried out of his home. On one side of the street, his family and neighbors mourn in silence. On the other side, drunk men sing a raunchy song in front of a bar. And for the record, the mask for this threat is the Mask of Apathy. Dr. Murdoch, how do you feel investigating?
It's normal. It's like any other investigation for him. Looking after Roger's things, it's kind of become numb, almost like a game even.
Okay, how about we give you the condition numbed enjoyment?
Numbed enjoyment. Okay.
Actually, no, let me rephrase that. Not numbed enjoyment, numbed to empathy.
Numbed.
Because you describe it, it feels like it's so routine for him that he doesn't really care emotionally about the pharaohs. He's just like, well, might as well solve the last puzzle while I'm here.
It's really just a puzzle at this point.
Okay, yeah,
for him.
numbed to empathy. I think that's super fucked up. I love that. All right, cool, great, thank you. Pyra, what would you like to do now that you've aside from answering a question?
I believe I was going to be having a conversation with Ross. I think that
we can do a vulnerable move between the two of you at any point during the stay phase. But aside from that, would you like to resolve one of the figs or do something else? Or
I didn't think I could resolve one of the figs unless it was a night phase.
You can only resolve the last fig during the night phase. You can resolve 2/3 of the figs during the day phase.
I'm absolutely going hunting down a bitch. Then bitch is gonna die today. Preferably, if I can, I want to get Obert first because he seems like he's the most dangerous one right now.
Fantastic.
He's the one that's kind of fucked me up the most, and I want him to die. So
okay, so the way that the opportunity of Obert's thing works. I don't believe you got an unwelcome complication from Obert's. I believe it was just a straight opportunity. So you know that he prefers victims blonde, physically capable, uniformed, and that it's very much a test of worthy siblinghood. I think we decided now. So you're able to lure Obert to you. So I'll let you set this up. What is Pyra setting up to lure Obert to her today?
I go back to the alley where I first met him.
Oh, fantastic.
With a handful of the buttons that he left behind. I have gonna say she tore the sleeves off of one of her shirts to really show that she is a bitch not to be dealt with. Pyra she's not that tall, but she is toned to hell after years of intense training. And she just fucking waits because she knows Obert will come for her.
You can see down the alleyway a spectacle of two large men fighting in a pit of mud, a crowd of spectators cheering them on, but you slink in the dark of the alleyway and you watch as a spectator from the crowd breaks away from them, wearing a long, dusty coat begins to walk down this alleyway, following you. You can smell the twang of copper in the air. You can almost feel the greasy grin spread across Obert Fig's face. Is your back to him as you're waiting for him, or are you facing him head on?
She's leaned up against the wall, like she's not even worried. She's like leaning on her sword, just waiting, like tapping her fingers on the hilt.
He walks halfway down the alleyway. You can see his sallow skin, his long bloody apron, and customarily he sliding it out from under his sleeve, the long butcher's knife about as long as your leg, and you can still distinctly remember the feel of it slicing through your calf.
Would like to throw the buttons at his feet.
You toss, they scatter and they roll and they click and clack against the stones of the alleyway, and he just like looks down at them with a quirk of his head, and he looks back up at you and he says, "So, have you decided which you are? A suckling pig or food or the trough?"
I think I've decided which one you are.
"And what is that, Piglet?"
I think you know. You guys just stand there, or are you gonna come at me like a man?
"I was really hoping you would be the one." He drags the knife across the stones, stalks towards you. He says, "But at the very least, I will relish the taste of your bosom." And he's gonna charge at you with his knife. Oh,
gross. Yeah. Okay, sure.
I think this is absolutely going to be... See, here's the thing. Even though it's day, I would say night move. However, because of how confident and prepared and utterly unafraid you are, and also, you know, I think bloodthirsty is an absolute thing you have here. Yeah. This man is disgusting, and you have no fear against him. You're just going to charge him. This will be a day move. So you're going to engage them physically. What are you afraid of happening here?
I'm not afraid of death. Pyra's not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of them taking me.
Ooh, him taking... Okay, I love that. That's fantastic. This is going to be day phase plus your vitality. Let's see. Do you have any conditions that would get in the way of this? I don't think bloodthirsty would get in the way of killing him. So, I think this is just going to be a straight roll. Unless you wish to use any of your many features to bump it. No?
Ooh. Could I use an item to bump it?
If you can give me an argument for how one of your personal quarters items could be bumped, you may mark it.
Is that dragoon gun loaded? Is
yeah,
the question, I mean.
Yes, then if you want to use it, it absolutely is. If you want,
I wouldn't even let this motherfucker get halfway down the halfway towards me. I would have just fucking drawn and shot this bitch.
Fantastic.
Just that Indiana Jones shit of just like pull it out and waste him.
He draws the blade, and you just absolutely okay. That you may mark the 18, the dragoon rifle. Or dragoon gun, and yeah, so roll with advantage then. So 3d6, and then add your vitality to it.
Bitch, that's a 14. There are 2 6s sitting in my damn tray.
Well done.
Okay.
And I have a +2 because of vitality.
First of all, mark Hunt X.
Hell yeah.
Because this is gratuitous violence.
Could I say I shoot him in the leg? I want him down. I want to coup de grace this motherfucker.
Oh yeah, we'll set that up as part of the scene. Well, cool. That's absolutely fine. So you're gonna mark your Hunt X because that thing, and also because of the soaked in blood move, that means you also get to remove all emotional or psychological conditions. So you can remove bloodthirsty now. You sate your bloodthirst on Obert Fig. So great. Yeah, that's a 12 plus. Dear Lord, you do what you intend. I will give you some extra benefit or advantage. But while I think on that, describe what follows. Narrate fully what happens after you fire the gun and beyond that. Just give us the scene.
He starts walking down the alley, and all I hear is that scrape of metal against the stone. and it's lightning fast in an instant. A sharp crack through the air, bullets fired, goes right through his kneecap, dislocates it, he's down. Pyra starts walking forward, dragging her rapiers, both of them, along the ground, just like she did, just like he does. She started by severing the wrist so that he couldn't raise his sword against her. And she kicks him back and drives her rapier down into his chest. She just looks over him and says, I already have a fucked up family. I don't need another.
I think that's fantastic.
Your mother's next.
And the benefit, I think the advantage, the benefit I'm going to give you as a result of that will be... Normally I give clues, but I think this time I'm going to do something a little unique. I'm going to give you a mastermind clue. I'm going to up the mastermind clue counter. I
think that also triggers a hunt O counter for me, because whenever I discover a mastermind clue, it has to do with, I believe, shrouded in mystery. Whenever you discover a mastermind clue, you may additionally increase the hunter O. We are officially halfway to the beast.
We're halfway to the beast. I think I'm going to give you a mastermind clue on Obert's body. That this will be something you find. Let's see. I'm stuck between two. You know what? I'm going to do... You find something. You kill him. Obert Fig is dead. You have destroyed one of the three. He lies there bleeding out on the street. You've murdered him. He will never threaten you or anyone else again in London. Something catches your eye inside his coat. There is a little gift box that has been tucked away in a pocket that is tied with a sapphire blue ribbon. Would you like to look inside?
Yeah.
Okay. Before I narrate this, just remind me, because you've talked about this before, the current state of Pyra's twin brother is you've said...
He is, Pyra's brother Demir is dead.
Yes.
Her older brother, Mikhail, is alive.
But you have told us that her twin brother died. Gotcha.
Yeah, he was killed specifically by the beast.
Mm-hmm. So, inside the box, you find something... What am I going to do? You find something shocking. And this doesn't look like a new gift. It looks like this has been opened. It's not like he's been carrying around on him as being for a while. I'm going to say it is something shocking. And the shocking thing, it is going to be something that belonged to your deceased twin brother. Is in the box with a note addressed to Obert Fig, essentially telling him about you and that a twinless worthy person for his hunt. And it includes a possession of your brother Demir inside the box, and it is signed TB.
This bitch put him on your trail.
I would like, this is purely a flavor thing, Pyra fucking loses it, starts screaming in a really thick language. She moves down the alleyway, hoping that the cobblestone fight will cover her screaming, but she is cursing, she's screaming, she's angry that anyone had the nerve, the right to desecrate her brother's memory, her grave, and to send these fuckers after her. And she's essentially making a vow that she's gonna rip this person apart.
I'm gonna give you the condition enraged.
Yeah, that works. Holy shit, she's pissed.
Fantastic. Let's return to the Society Obscura. Let's see. So, Portia Abernathy escorts you to throughout the Society Obscura. And which room is she going to show you first? Oh, well, I simply have to do this one. She takes you into a room in the townhouse used for artistic photography, decorated to look like a Western saloon. And the paint the scene question for this location is, this room is not quite right. What feels off about it?
Pardon me. Oh, wow. I had a drag in my throat. The taxidermied animals of the West, including a jackalope and coyote and things of that nature. They have
You suggest
no
a jackalope
eyes.
is a real creature?
The real to
Of
me.
course.
I love that.
Of course.
That's great.
The taxidermy animals, they have no eyes.
Oh, that's creepy. I love that.
The shadows are long in this room, despite the fact that it's very well lit. You know, it's a photography saloon. It has to be well lit, but the shadows are really long. They almost seem to grasp at the hems of pants and skirts.
Leave this one a little vague. The height of this room is subtle but supernatural.
Oh, I like that a lot. That's very cool. And once Shelby gets back, we'll have her answer a question. But for now, let's live in the scene a little bit. So Portia shows you into this room where there are members of the Society Obscura currently about and taking photos. Some of them are dressed in like saloon attire, Wild West clothing, taking photos in this Americana location. And Portia says, this is the American West room. It should feel rather homey for you, I should hope. Looking at you, Ross.
Ross is going to look around. He's just going to say, it'll do. Close enough.
Very well. If this room does not appeal to you, we have others. There's the Jungle Room, the Maharaja's Palace Room, the Olympus Room, and the Astral Plane Room. Which catches your fancy for photography, my dear?
The astral plane.
Of course.
I think.
Of course. And Shelby, the paint the scene question for the American West Saloon photography room was, the room is not quite right. What feels off about it? So far, we've heard the taxidermy animals have no eyes, the room is a little too tall, and the shadows are a little too long. What detail would you like to add to this American West photography room?
Not a rectangle. The room is a triangle, so it's disorienting.
Oh, it's a weird little... Oh, I like that.
That's cool.
I like that weird shape.
That's cool. Fantastic. Great. So Portia will see you to the astral plane room. But as you're moving through the house, is there anything you would like to do? You got an idea, Ross?
Ross is going to stop Madame Adelaide and is going to go, Madame Adelaide, do you feel at ease with this Portia?
Yes, I do. I'll be quite fine, darling.
I think I'll stay behind in this room and perhaps give the enthusiasts here a subject worthy of capturing the American West.
I think you'll do very, very well. And she gives him a little peck on the cheek before following.
Fantastic. So you'll go with Portia, and then Ross, what are you doing as you converse with the various members of the Society Obscura?
I am going to offer myself up as a model for these members of the Society Obscura and utilizing that as an opportunity to perhaps, when making being a subject, able to use different angles that they have me standing at and things of that nature to see if I can peer a little bit behind the veneer of this room. See if there's anything that seems particularly out of place from an American Wild West saloon.
I think that's fantastic. So then in that case, that would be a information move plus, I believe, reason, I think.
That does sound good. So
And now you do have no conditions, so that's good.
Yep.
Is there any item you'd like to apply here for advantage to this roll?
Since I am utilizing the fact that I am somebody from the American West, I do have an item that is my 1851 Colt Navy revolver.
That you can never mark, I believe, is
that
that
I
what?
can never mark unless I choose to give it a reroll. And since I am being captured as like an American outlaw or frontiersman, I think it'd be good for me to utilize that item.
Yes, you have attracted the attention of two members of the society, Milosh and Seinabo. Seinabu, I think that's how you pronounce it.
Artists, man.
Artists, yeah. Frank Zappa named his kids Moon Unit and Dweezil, so I'm not going to knock their names. True story. Look it up. Look up Frank Zappa's kids.
Oh yeah, no, Frank Zappa's kids.
I swear to God, I will not
wild.
join this weird artist trend. This is not going to be.
That's not going
legacy.
to be your future.
Not my legacy, no.
All right, so they get a roll with advantage for using. So just to be clear, you're using your keen eye and like keeping studying this place. Essentially, is what you said you were doing.
Essentially, using my revolver almost as like a pointer. Almost.
Actually, you know what? Actually, no. I feel like the way you describe it, that's more composure because you have more intense concentration than engaging mental faculty. So I'll give you the composure roll to it then.
Excellent. Thank you so
see that.
much.
Yeah, you're welcome so much.
Oh, baby. Everybody's feeling lucky tonight. Daddy just rolled 2 6s and a 4, but 2 6s.
That's a 14. Another mastermind.
That's
clue.
another mastermind clue.
Ticking
right.
the clock.
Kapow, 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 kapow.
That's incredible.
Yosemite Sam over here.
All right, I will return to that moment shortly and tell you what you find out from studying the room. Meanwhile, Carla, Portia takes you up to the astral plane room. And let's see. Yes, this is a strange room painted in dreamy grays and silvers. There are objects arranged all over that seem to be from another world or time. Describe one.
There is a large, strange thing that's painted on one of the walls that seems to depict a flickering image over a strange device, and people are surrounding it and talking with it. For us, the audience, this appears to be some sort of hologram.
Fascinating. What else?
There is what seems to be a tarot deck that is locked in a case. And the placard on the case says, "For AC when he is ready."
The room is lit with an array of dark wax-colored candles in a very odd pattern. There's white, black, black, blue, red, white, black, black, blue, red, all around the perimeter of the room, they're all lit, and it gives the room's shadows a sort of mystical kind of movement to them with the erratic light of the flames.
There's a note on a table in the corner, and the note reads, "To the one who came to lunch with me, your secret is safe with me, signed Hawking."
That is a good one. I do want to sidebar real quick, because if no one here knows about Stephen Hawking's time traveler tea party, Stephen Hawking held a tea party for time travelers and announced it the day afterward, that he already held it, and is like, oh, there's proof that there are no time travelers. So that is a good fucking inclusion right there. I love that.
I'm glad you got it. I
That's
wasn't sure
really
if anyone was
good.
gonna get that.
That's really good. I love that. All right. That's fantastic. I love all of these. So inside this room, there's already another gentleman currently wearing a form-fitting white bodysuit, tight in all the right places. Silvery cords wrapped around his arms, legs, and neck. A very distant gaze. And Portia says, "Miss Adelaide, this is my husband, Cyrus Abernathy." And the man turns around, even with his distant gaze. He looks you up and down. There's like a glint of like familiarity in his eyes, but like he can't place it. And he goes, "How do you do? Welcome to the Society Obscura, Miss Adelaide."
One of many names. It's one I used in France.
Ah, France. Indeed. Well, welcome. Welcome. Have we met before?
Perhaps. I've met a lot of people over a long time.
I feel the same. Well, welcome. Welcome to the Society Obscura. This is the Astral Plane room. Would you like your photograph taken?
Yes. Yes, I would, I think.
Him and Portia share a glance, and she says, "I shall bring the camera." And Cyrus nods with a smile. He looks at you up and says, "Please, take a seat. Make yourself comfortable."
She sits down on one of the chaises and lounges, and she's going to look at Silas, just kind of, askance, adjusting her shawls and her scarf. Tell me. I couldn't help but overhear there's a young woman who came. I hear such fanciful things about this place. An artist that disappeared.
You speak of young Penelope Levy. Yes, she did vanish. Why do you ask?
I guess you could call me an artist of the forgotten. Something about those who pass on intrigues me.
You are with Hargrave House.
Guilty as charged. Is that a problem?
No, not at all. In fact, I'm quite at ease with you and your organization. What a word of friendly advice. The other members of the society might be a bit more guarded if you go around revealing that you are searching for Penelope Levy, or at least what remains of her trail.
That's no problem for me. I just want to know you now.
Because of here's what I'm going to do. Because of a circumstance that exists mechanically that I have on my page here that specifies that Cyrus is at ease with Hargrave House, I'm just going to have him give you a clue with no roll. That he'll just give that to you in conversation. Let's see. What do you know of the human body, Miss Adelaide?
I know its curves and how it feels under my hands, under my lips. I know how it looks under the moonlight and how it heats.
Indeed.
But I'm no student of anatomy, if that's what you're saying.
Not at all, but if it may interest you. He reaches into his jacket and procures a rolled up chart that he hands off to you, and he says, "You may not understand why I give you this yet, but let us speak in vague notions so as not to turn the other members of our society against you. That may be of some interest to your questioning." And you look it over, and it is a highly detailed anatomy chart that Cyrus has given to you. Meanwhile, Ross, as you get your picture taken down in the American West Saloon, there is like there are these glasses of like, you know, pints of beer that are situated on the bar here, and what catches your eye is there's something unusual resting at the bottom of one of the glasses. Droplets of mercury that just kind of like roll idly at the bottom of these glasses.
I'm really fucking glad I didn't take a fucking drink.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, to be fair, it's Victorian London. You can put on your hat and you'll probably die from mercury poisoning.
Oh, fuck.
Jeez.
Yeah, you will.
And before we go on break, one thing I want to give to Carla as well is Portia returns upstairs holding an ornate, fascinating looking camera. And you are certain she is holding the Whatley camera. And she helps Cyrus set it up for you. And he says, "How do you wish to be posed?" And he, like, as you're bringing yourself, he says, "Yeah, we'll go ahead and answer his question. How would you like to pose for your photo?"
She thinks for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't think I want to be sitting. And she's going to stand,
Mhm.
and she is effectively going to mirror her statue.
Oh, fantastic.
Almost perfectly.
You position yourself, and Cyrus stands behind the camera, and he begins to prepare it. And Portia holds up the flash tin. And if anyone has ever seen the movie Shadow of the Vampire with John Malkovich, there's a great image of him behind the camera, turning it very slowly, preparing it. Just, if you ever see the movie, just that's absolutely kind of what I'm evoking here. And Cyrus, as he's preparing the camera, he's speaking to you as you pose. He says, "I like to imagine photograph is like a little pocket dimension, a tiny world parallel to our own. You do believe in parallel worlds, don't you?" I believe in parallel worlds, parallel threads in time. For example, the primordial past of this world, the time before there was light, is still with us. It floats alongside us, and someday it may call out to us. The bang of flash powder. Immediately you feel a brief sensation that you are floating. But then reality reasserts itself. Your eyes have phosphorescent dots of phosphor just kind of like dizzying, and they pass. And Cyrus looking at you, he says, "Magnificent." And I think we'll go on a break right there. So we'll be back after a short break, and we'll see what else happens during this day phase. So don't go anywhere. We will return presently. And welcome back. So, before we jump over scenes, I do want to resolve very quickly one more thing for Ross, because he receives a mastermind clue for looking around and getting the vibe of the Society Obscura. Here's what I want to set up for you. Here's your mastermind clue. Is what happens is after you get some photos taken of you, there's a bit of a lull. You walk. You kind of decide to, like, you know, pace, you know, like maybe walk into an adjoining photography room and see what's going on there. And you enter into a strange room. And here, everyone is wearing a Venetian mask in sapphire blue. And as soon as you enter the room, they all stop their conversation and turn and look at you before turning away and ignoring you entirely. They don't continue their conversation. They just stand there ignoring you.
Ugh, I hate that. I hate that. That's why I don't like masquerade parties, because people do that shit all the time. Oh, fuck. All right.
So that is your mastermind clue, is that you walk into that strange scene. Cal, after canvassing Reaver stuff, what else did you want to accomplish during this day phase?
Oh man, a part of me wondered if we'd be able to get the kid, to get Patrick Fig.
Oh, you want to see if you can resolve Patrick Fig?
Yeah, and then allow La Hortensia Fig to be I guess the night phase event that we're gonna do.
Focus of the night phase. Okay.
Yeah, I guess Cal's gonna lure out Patrick Fig and deal with him.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do that, I'm into that. So, how do you want to go about doing that? You know that he presents himself as an owl. How are you planning to lure him out?
I think what he starts off with is that he goes and gets feeding mice, like ones that you give to like snakes and such, where they're alive but they don't really fight much. Like they'll run around and shit. And he'll kind of go around the area of where Fig's Pigs is, and just kind of let the sounds possibly start to lure him out until he goes to an alley and just lets the mice loose. Yeah,
we had to establish that we did say that he was an owl, and one of the reasons why is because he like blacks out the light and he kind of like is nocturnal. So do you find somewhere like particularly dark?
Yeah, it's kind of like the alley where it's like very shaded, where it's dark. Perhaps there's like just like a little like underpass along with the alley that maybe like has like a little sewer, possibly.
I'm into that. Does Cal actually do some renovation, not like full on renovation, but like additional decorating the scene to like block out the light even more?
I would say so. Yeah, like he would lure this kid out.
Absolutely.
Just with anything that he can get his hands on.
Let me take a look at my list here. And then you hear, as you kind of wait, you let loose these mice, and you hear echoing kind of softly.
Cal immediately dashes to the shadows and out of sight.
You see kind of very cautiously is this man who is crawling on all fours and occasionally like perches up and like almost like he's preening his wings, like, twitches.
I'm sorry, did you say man?
Yeah.
Like an adult?
He's an adult man. Like,
oh my god, I thought he was a kid.
No.
Oh, I thought he was a kid. Oh my god.
He is about, like, I'd say like he's in his 20s. He's
okay.
Kind of like, like looks around cautiously, sees the mice and kind of like wide-eyed like stare. Kind of like watches them very slowly, crawls kind of delicately over to them. What's very off-putting about Patrick Fig is that he actually has a very perceptibly sweet disposition, which is unique from the rest of the family members you've met thus far. But you see that he like kind of like leaps up and perches himself on a on like a little bit of like a sorry, I'm looking for here, like some crates. And he's like very still. And he waits for one of the mice to like get over there, and he just jumps down, like sweeps it up, and immediately just begins to like just down it in like one gulp, very hungrily. And then just leaps back up and perches himself back on the thing and just begins to like look wide-eyed.
I'm glad that he's not a kid, because I'm gonna feel less bad for what I'm about to do. I'm gonna knock him out. Like Cal's gonna come up from behind and just really like just punch him in the back of the head. Like he's really just gonna knock him out like flat.
I'm gonna say that this is the risk here is less the knocking him out and more sneaking up on him, because he's a very alert animal, since I think an owl is very observant and perceptive. So what I'm gonna have you do is roll, this will be plus your composure since you're trying to be stealthy up there. I'm gonna give you disadvantage because of spiteful. And right. Numbed. So it's like, yeah, so you have disadvantage because it's like, there's a lot of things going on there. So this will be plus your composure, unless you want to use one of your personal quarters items to bump that roll up.
Actually, yeah, can I go ahead and Cal's gonna take the forget me drops and crush them in his hand, and when he comes up on Patrick, he's gonna like pock his hand, like he's gonna like just really
force
fucking
it down
give
his
to him.
throat. Yeah.
Yeah, like just the dust in his eyes, in his nose, the little bits and pieces in his mouth, and then like, I don't know, maybe he learned like how to fight from Ross. Like he just takes like one right hook and just fucking gets him on the jaw.
Then this will be a flat roll for you then. So give me the 2d6 plus your composure. That's good. I like that. Pakistan.
Pocket stand. Gah!
What you afraid of, Cal?
Oh yeah, sorry, thank you. What are you afraid of happening here should you fail or lose your nerve?
I don't know if you guys ever seen owls fight, but they're fucking vicious.
Oh, so you're okay.
I'm afraid of getting attacked by this owl man.
Oh, cool. I
You
love
do
that.
not fuck with a bird with raven's claws.
So with that said, roll. Go ahead and roll for it.
Yes, sure. All right, so that's gonna be with composure. So that's gonna be an 8.
8. Okay. I will tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and then you can choose to back down or go through with it.
Okay.
Let's see. How would it leave you vulnerable? I'm trying to think of what a good vulnerability.
Can I make
there.
a suggestion?
I'm open to suggestions. I want to hear what you got.
Hurt me.
You got the forget me drops in your own eyes. And you crushed them.
Oh god.
And actually, that's actually leaning into what I was gonna go for. Here's a vulnerability you're gonna have is you're gonna get blinded in one eye. Yeah. The chemicals from the you get some of it on Patrick Fig, but you do get some in your eye and they burn and it hurts, and you'll get the condition blinded, half blinded. Do you wish to go through with it or back down, or use a mask to bump it up? Or do you want to lean into this angle here?
Oh man. Would that be a
Cal an
permanent
iPad?
condition? Like that I could never get rid of? Like,
I
that be a
would not
permanent
say that
condition?
that's a permanent one, because I think it could easily be treated. It's just that I think I will not have that be permanent. I would do that like permanent on like a night phase move, but this is a day phase. This would be kind of a physical condition at this moment.
I think we're gonna roll with it.
Okay.
I think we're gonna roll with it.
You get up close to Patrick Fig, and right as he spins around, you throw it, but he kind of like, flails his arm, smacks your arm aside a little bit. He gets some directly into his open mouth, and he begins to cough and sputter and drops to the ground. But you get some right back in your eye, and you feel this immediate like chemical like burning sensation in your right eye as your vision of that eye becomes foggy, clouded, and like a little bit bloodstained. But he falls to the ground and begins to screech like an owl in pain, and begins to try and run away. But the forget me drop has disoriented him to the point where you, in this spiteful stage, you just like grab him by the back of his like rough shirt collar, and you just take out like your forceps, and you just begin to club him in the back of the head until he's like just on the ground, unconscious, you clutching one eye, blood dripping from your forceps as you stand there in the shadows of the alleyway. And he like twitches. He's alive, but you really went to town on him.
Yeah. So Doc next is going to hoist him up on his shoulder, like not like all the way up, but it's kind of like he's carrying a drunk friend. He's gonna take him back to Hargrave House, and he is going to take him to Pyra. And all the way back, on their way back, he's gonna kind of sing like little drunken songs, just so as if they're just two bros who just had a fight.
Amazing.
And they're coming.
Let's resolve the rest of the Society Obscura, and then we'll get some things going on with Pyra, Ross, and especially this Fig situation. Let's see. All right. So what's going on now? Like you Ross, you came upon this strange scene. Carla, you've gotten your photograph from the Whatley Camera. And what would you like to do now?
Ross is gonna go, oh, seems like I stumbled into something that does not involve me. I am going... My Mind you, I'm one that likes to imbibe a bit. Do any of you gentle people know where a man might find himself a bit of a milk of the poppy?
They do not respond.
More drinkers yourself. I completely understand. You all have an excellent evening. Keep on rooting and tooting. And just like Woody coming out of the box, he's going to move his hands like that. And he's going to turn around and walk on out.
And you leave. Phenomenal.
Oh my God, dude. I fucking love Ross Botnos so much.
I love Ross.
I fucking love Ross so much.
Carla,
if anything
after
happens to Ross, I'll be so upset.
Carla, after getting your photograph taken, how do you feel from the Whatley camera?
After, honestly, I feel like she's kind of like, you know, leaning into that Sons of Another World thing. She just kind of like comes out and she's not really sure where she is for a moment.
I'm gonna give you the condition dissociated.
Okay, okay.
It's kind of like an extension of Sons of Another World. I like it.
Fascinating little thing. Pardon, I should really be going. Meet up with my good friend.
Cyrus just nods and says, "Of course. I do hope to see you again, Miss Adelaide." And Portia says, "You are welcome anytime. I'd love to see you photographed in our other rooms."
Perhaps, and, you know, just between friends. Please call me Carla.
Cyrus nods, and Portia kind of like cocks her head and curiously, but Cyrus says, "Of course, Miss Carla. Until we meet again."
And she's going to head back down and find Ross.
Ross is waiting in the foyer, just like holding Carla's like coat, and it's just like actively looking at a pocket watch, tucks it back in. Miss Adelaide?
Let's be off for the day.
Yes, we shall away, and I'm going to help the coat onto her, and then immediately walk out the door and turn and look and go, "Those are some weird and creepy fuckers in there, I'll tell you one thing."
They used the Whatley camera on me.
Are you okay? I would see if she's like shimmering or see-through or anything. No?
Completely tangible.
I feel very weird.
I'm gonna bring out some salt from a pouch on my side, and I'm gonna like put it in front of me in a line and step back. Take a step toward me.
Steps forward.
You step forward.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm still me. Just I felt like I was floating through the spaces between worlds. Darndest thing.
Seems you might have been a cosmological passenger and you've made your way back to this reality. Or plane, or whatever they might call it.
I don't know. In any case, I think we need to come back here again. As weird as this goddamn place is. Creepy.
All right, let's make our way.
You return.
Let's see how the other two are getting on.
Return to Hargrave House, as does Cal, as does Pyra. We're all convened, but before we resolve the situation with the Fig, I do want to get that vulnerable move that we wanted to do earlier between Pyra and Ross. So whose vice are we indulging here? I'm assuming Ross's or someone else's?
I would assume it's Ross's.
I'm gonna be honest, Pyra probably would indulge hers too, but
I'm gonna leave it completely
she's got figs
up
on
to
the
you.
mind. She's too pissed off
You don't know how she handles her bullshit.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I will say if Ross goes looking for her, it's not hard to find her. There is an absolute trail of fucking destruction. Paintings knocked off walls, shattered vases, holes. You find a knife that's been jammed at the wall at some point. Pyra came home pissed.
Ross is going to grab the knife off the wall and is going to walk to Pyra's room's doorway and knock on it with the knife, and is going to lean against it and starts just like picking at his fingernails with the knife.
What do you want?
Just wanted to check on some Hargrave house royalty, see how you're holding up. You've had a stressful few weeks now.
She rips the door open, and she's still got the box in her hand that I've decided has a necklace in it.
You okay? You've kind of rearranged the interior decoration on the way to your room.
Oh no, I'm not fucking okay. I'm going to tear someone apart is what I'm going to do. Someone's fucking with us, okay? Whoever's been leaving these fucking sapphire things everywhere, they're fucking with us, and I'm tired of it, and they crossed the fucking line.
Keep your voice down. There are others in the household.
Fuck them.
Huh?
She just kind of
all right. That's one way to handle it. Do you mind if I come in?
Okay, come on. And she like steps away from the door, and when she like kicks it closed.
This is...
Hilbert's dead. One's down.
Good. Do you feel better?
No, because I found this on him. And she holds it up, and it's a inside it's a box she's holding. It looks like a jewelry box, and it's got a necklace in it. And it's just a very simple flat piece of metal. Maybe it looks like an old coin. You know, toss a coin, you say. It's an old coin that's not currency used here. That's got a hole drilled through it. It's on a simple leather cord. Someone fucked up. Because this belonged to my brother. The one that died 40 years ago. Someone went into his grave. And I'm gonna fucking kill them.
Makes sense.
Like, as she's talking, you've seen Pyra angry, but you've never seen Pyra cry. And there are tears just welling up in her eyes. They haven't spilled yet, but they are close.
While she was talking that whole time, Ross had moved over to a table and jammed her knife into the table and had pulled out his leather little pouch, his stash case, and was like participating in active listening, giving the proper mm-hms to let him know that he's listening and everything like that, but like undoes the case and is bringing out the tinctures, looking at them, goes, I completely understand. I had someone interfering with us recently, someone that was making things quite personal, as you know. Mr. Taggart was vicious, methodical, and he understood me more than I might have understood myself, but in the end, he got what he deserved.
Fucking tired. I am so fucking tired. It's always something. It's always something. It's always something. For once, I can't just have a normal day as a woman in London. No, it just has to be fucking insane. And no, they can't even let my brother rest when you die for this shit. And she like kind of just goes over and like collapses herself down in the chair by the table. There's like 2 chairs there. And just like drops her head in her hands, and she kind of looks at the stash, and she's like,
what we're gonna do when the time comes is what we always do. We're gonna stop. We're gonna assess the situation. We're gonna make sure that we look at this thing from every angle, and we're gonna figure out who this blue son of a bitch is.
I'm gonna figure it out, alright, and I'm gonna tear them limb from limb, starting with their fucking fingers.
But you have to be able to get to them first before you can do that. Or you're gonna end up full of holes, like you did the first time. And the last thing I need is Dr. Murdoch stumbling upon you unconscious in an alleyway someplace and dragging you home, all right? Boy's got enough thing going on in his head and that bag of his. So what you're gonna do is gonna relax, and you're gonna take this. And he's gonna provide the tincture, and it's half a normal dosage that what Ross takes.
She just takes it.
All right, it's gonna make you feel relaxed. Now, to make sure you're comfortable, I'm gonna go ahead and take the same dosage. I don't want you seeing me completely caterwauling all over the place, splayed out like a lily pad, all right?
Fine.
He's gonna sit down and look at Pyra. He's gonna like kneel down and look at Pyra. He's gonna go, what do you need, Pyra?
Not be who I am. Not be a fucking Rivia for just one day. Just one fucking day.
Okay. All right. Well, we can make that happen at a later date. When all this is said and done with, it's taken care of, I'll take you out to the countryside. Have a completely normal day, ride some horses, have a picnic, get away. Away from the stinking piss and shit of the city, all right? No fog, no smoke, none of that. But what do you need now?
She just kind of looks around a bit. You know, someone to spend a few hours with probably wouldn't be bad. If you wouldn't mind staying.
I think I can acquiesce to that demand.
I will ask politely of Ross. Do you wish to invite Pyra to ask you of your past, or would you like to find a clue?
I would invite Pyra to ask something of Ross's past.
Okay. So, I imagine this is when the opium's kind of taken hold and we both kind of entered that haze. Probably just talking about nothing at some point. Get a little closer. She kind of leans her head on on your shoulder at some point because she's just kind of floating in that haze, and she just says, "Have you ever lost someone? I mean, someone that you didn't think you could live without?"
You're gonna see Ross's, whose normal jovial behavior and smile darkens a bit. And the audience will see a flash of Ross standing over a crumpled body, firing into what seems to be an old West alleyway. Tears streaming down his eyes, and he's got two pistols and he's firing into it. And you see him drop them once they're clicked out, and there's a couple of bullets flying back, and he grabs that big fuck off knife and he just charges down the alleyway. And he goes, back when before I'd met a couple people that were deeply special to me, I had someone that rode with me for a bit. Her name was Alice. She was from, I believe it's Wales. That area.
I know what you're talking about.
And she loved me, and I cared for her. I used to be a much more carousing, gambling sort of fella before I found the poppy. My carousing and gambling led some trouble to her, and it caused her to be hurt quite a bit. And I told myself after that happened, I wouldn't let it happen to anybody else. But the thing is, Pyra, that's a lie. You can't make that promise because the universe does not allow you to keep promises of that nature. There are going to be people that come into your life and they're going to move out of your life unexpectedly. They will be used against you. They will be maneuvered in a way to be an obstacle for you, whether or not you care for them. That is the nature of our work. Just who we are.
I think as you're saying it, she won't say anything, but you kind of feel her head shift on your shoulder, like she's kind of pressing her face in to your shoulder instead, and you can feel your shoulder starting to get damp. And she's trembling just a little, not making a single sound.
He's going to move back just a little bit, and he's going to look at her face. And he's going to wipe tears away from her cheek. And he goes, "You don't seem like a woman who's had a lot of tenderness in her life. How about we not talk for a little bit, and we have a shared moment of tenderness?"
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Fantastic. I love that. Wonderful. Shortly thereby, interrupted, as coming through the doors of Hargrave House is Cal Murdoch with a body slung over one shoulder, who walks to Pyra's room and throws Patrick Fig onto the floor.
I would like to point out it's also probably still a fucking wreck on the way to Pyra's room. Like, fucking walls are smashed. There's fucking paintings off the walls. Fucking ceramics smashed on the ground. Tables knocked over. She went on a fucking rampage.
I like to imagine that Cal came home. He walked in. He like knocked on the door. Nobody answered, and he like used his foot to like kick the door a little bit. No one still answered, and so he fucking.
You got one eye, like
yeah, like he's got like one eye. He gets the door open. Oh, good, Miss Rivia's home, and he begins to head inside.
You just see Ross, shirt on the floor, like suspenders down to the side, just like staring at him the entire time in like a perched state, just like.
You've been busy. Candygram, and he sets the body down. Whatever you decide to do, just let me know when you're finished, and I will take care of this. Yes.
Pyra's got like still tears coming down her face, I think.
It takes you a moment to realize what you're even looking at.
I'm not going to ask, and he turns around.
To your knowledge, Dr. Murdoch has just thrown a disoriented and dirty
Why did you
young man.
Put the person in my room? What the fuck, Cal?
He's
I know I'm a harder, but come on.
He's a fig.
We have an area for this sort of thing.
I thought
you
this was
absolute madman.
What area is there supposed to be?
The infirmary.
Fine, I'll take care of it myself. And he begins to grab my
I want to add one detail, because we've established, I think, in the past few sessions that the Rivias own Hargrave House currently, and that her uncle is currently the overseer of the house. I want to add the detail of, while this shenanigans and you're like loud and you're yelling, you all hear a very distinct and loud dump 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 of a hard wooden staff being knocked against the floor on the upper levels of the house, a sign from the office of the uncle telling you all to quiet down.
So now he cares
you can
about
see
his noise.
you can see Pyra, like, she's about to yell fuck off, but she just bites her lip. You brought the fig into my room.
I did, yes. I thought you might want to deal with him yourself.
I do.
Seeing as things are very personal. I'll tell you what, I will have him in the infirmary when you two are
We're finished.
done.
I was just
finished?
leaving. I was just leaving.
We're finished. And take him to the garden, because I don't want to make a mess in the house.
Right. He's gonna pick him up, take him, allowing you two to have your space.
Yeah.
While things are
You
done and
drag
over.
Patrick Fig out into the garden, and he actually begins
Specifically letting his like noggin kind of hit.
Yeah.
The surface.
he actually begins to rouse and come to, and is very disoriented. And he kind of just like coughs and like chokes and goes, just begins to like whine and whimper like an owl, looking up at you, Pyra, as you're taking him to the garden. With these wide... Oh, you're taking him to the garden. He's looking up at the scene with wide, fearful eyes, and is trying to move, but is like a numbed, drugged animal, just lethargic and I'm sorry, I'm looking for here. Languidly, and is very clearly trying to, like an animal, find like a way to like fly away or get out of here, but is just whimpering and needing it, trying to get away. Yeah.
I would have followed Cal out, since we were, I think. Did you want to do something, Ross?
Before Pyra leaves, I don't know if I can do this, but can I give something from my personal quarters to another one of the hunters?
I don't think there's a rule against it.
Perfect. All right.
The only person
Ross
who has the mechanical like benefit from that is Carla. But I think you're more than welcome to hand over, like, to exchange items.
So
you just have to remove it from your list.
Yeah. Ross is gonna stop Pyra before she leaves. He goes, this thing, he's gonna pick up the knife that she had. Its tang is awful. It only goes halfway down the hilt. It's off balanced. The blade is absolutely atrocious. It was made with some kind of maybe wrought iron garbage metal. And he's gonna put it in his own pocket, and he's gonna take the big fuck off Bowie knife off of his belt. And he's gonna say, you need something that's a little bit sturdier if you're gonna keep on getting in knife fights with butchers out in the streets.
She looks at the Bowie knife, and she looks back down the hall where Cal is going. Why don't we go test it?
I will watch from afar, but I'll allow you have your moment with Mr. Fig.
And before she leaves, she's gonna kind of like stop. And if you let her, she's gonna kind of go up to you and give you a hug. And thanks. I needed that. Before she
Anytime.
walks out.
Anytime.
Yeah, I'd like to go execute the fig now, please.
Oh, okay. I will have this be, I think, circumstantially, this has to be day phase, because I mean, like, you're in Hargrave House. It is, you're outnumbering him. But if you're doing the deed, I will ask you, if you're planning to execute him, what are you afraid of happening should you fail?
My uncle coming downstairs.
Oh, that is a good one.
Oh man,
That's
like
what
that.
I'm afraid of.
Okay.
He's just made it clear that he's annoyed.
So you just want to kill Patrick Fig right here
as quickly and quietly as possible.
Cal might speak up. He might speak up before you do so.
What?
I don't think he's hurt anyone. Sure, the Figs are bad,
now,
but he's...
I will direct, and I will let you be the arbiter of how you want to choose this. You are presently numbed to empathy.
Oh yeah, you're right. Deal with him, please.
Oh shit.
His eyes fucked up. He is irritated. He just had to like beat the brakes off of a fucking bird, man. He's tired. Thank you for presenting numb to empathy, because Cal was about to get real empathetic. Good job catching me on that. Numb to empathy, yeah, I think there's probably a glint in his eye and an urge to speak up.
Oh, it's so good.
That's kind of there.
That's fantastic.
But there's something inside him that, like, one tells him that we solved this without any Scotland Yard help. Like, like, all of that spite is kind of being, like, I guess goated. It's like a weird fire that's kind of being goated. Like, we did a job better than the fucking police can. They get the training. I'm so tired of these Figs already. They were gonna try to do something to her. They sent fucking pies to our house. Let's just fucking deal with them. It's just like everything that's just kind of inside right now. So yeah, he brings him out to the garden, and he just kind of tosses him aside.
Yeah, I'm gonna say for killing him quickly, your goal is you just want to kill him as very quickly
and quietly. I don't want to draw any more of my uncle's attention.
I think that is going to be plus composure to like pull off a quick and decisive killing blow with a steady hand, but you are enraged and it is hard to be steady in that case.
Valid
so you're gonna roll with disadvantage. Yeah,
no, that's valid. Wait, wouldn't I have removed oh wait, no,
that you removed bloodthirsty, and range was a new one.
Gone.
Well, I thought because I was just in a vulnerable move.
Oh, that's right. You just cleared condition. Oh, fuck, you're right. You can clear that one. That's right. You can clear that. Never mind. You don't roll disadvantage.
I would make the argument that Pyra is terrified of her uncle. If you wanted to justify that being a problem for her, I know it's not a condition, but
I will let you do this with a flat roll. I think that I think being terrified of your uncle will make your hand even steadier in this case because you don't want to risk his ire. Oh, what did you roll? A 4.
If there was ever a time for the Mask of the Pig.
We have not done the Mask of the Pig yet.
You have not done the Mask of the Pig. You have not done the.
No, but like, okay, this
Just
is where
use
I'm.
it.
No, this is where I'm conflicted because I, as a player, want this outcome.
You want the outcome to happen?
Yes, like Shelby wants this to happen. Pyra doesn't, though. But I kind of don't want to take any more masks. I have taken. I know that it's a free one. But I've taken too many. I need to start like accepting my.
Okay.
I want to. I'm gonna accept it. I'm accepting it.
You're accepting this reality.
Cool, yeah.
Okay.
I want to accept my reality. I need to be more accepting of my realities.
I will note, once we finish Fig's Pigs, which might be tonight, we can't use that mask anymore.
That's fine because I really don't want to put the Mask of the Pig on.
We'll see if we need to use it when dealing with Hortensia.
Yeah, we'll see.
You know, also I'd like to, you know, I feel like she's going to be harder to deal with because she's the trap one.
She's
the one who like sets traps one.
Yeah, she is.
That bitch tried to fucking rain down sharp objects on me, okay?
Because you rolled a miss, that means I want to say that you don't even actually get to kill him at all yet. And I'm gonna add an extra complication on top of this. What happens is Patrick Fig becomes more alert and awake. He begins to scream and flail and fight back, trying to like find any way out of here, like a panicked frightened animal, and you have to like chase him around the bit of the garden a little bit. You're able to like tackle him down, and you hold the knife in the air when you hear a sharp crack of a walking stick on the back patio of the house.
Ugh.
And now I know nothing about your uncle as a character. However, I'll let you describe him physically and like what his vibe is, and I'll kind of like live in that and play it from there.
All right. His vibe is almost identical to how he's appeared in my Janus masks. He's tall. He's kind of gaunt. But he has the aura of a seasoned, hardened monster hunter, a man who's done this since he could hold a blade. He has seen the most grotesque things that the human mind could imagine and worse. And he has been hunting the beast just like Pyra, so he knows how dark and just fucked up things get. He's a very similar face to Pyra. The Rivias all have this kind of ashy blonde hair and these really green eyes. It seems to kind of just be a family trait. And I would like to add that as soon as that crack happens, Pyra stiffens in a way that none of you have ever seen.
And does he have... Oh, go ahead.
He is a commanding presence. He does have a name. One sec. I need to pull that up because I do have it. It's just been a minute since I've had to be Miss Rivia. Uncle Pavel.
Uncle Pavel.
Pavel Rivia.
Pavel Rivia. And he has a Slavic accent, I assume?
Yes, he is. We all have this accent because we don't go to school.
You hear this crack of a wooden... And sorry, did you want to say something, Jordan, or...
Yeah, so I guess for this next bit, are you okay with Cal still being here?
Yeah, he's still here.
Absolutely.
He's present at the site when this happened, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Totally. I assume Ross and Carla is seeing this from a bedroom window, and Ross is seeing this from down the hallway.
I'd say Ross, is there like a porch or something kind of area? Ross is definitely just like leaning against like a pillar on the porch and has like gotten the tiny, like the knife that Pyra had before. It's just cutting an apple with it. And
I'm up probably watching from the bedroom.
Yeah. There's the sharp crack. And I'm going to tell, hopefully you like this voice. You hear, sharply, Pyra. And you see your Uncle Pavel standing there, the unfrequently seen current owner of Hargrave House, who is glaring daggers into you. And he is not alone. He has a guest. Standing off to his side rather curiously is a man dressed in a tweed suit with very pale, oily flesh, who is watching this all fold out rather inquisitively. And Pavel takes a few decisive step down towards the garden and walks towards you where you are leaning over.
I'm not leaning over him anymore.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're standing up.
As soon as he showed up, Pyra stiffened, she straightened, and she is looking progressively smaller as this man is coming towards her.
As he gets up close to you, like to the point where you can like almost like taste his breath. And very decisively he slaps the cane against your wrist that is holding the knife. Until you drop it into the grass, and he goes, "What is the meaning of this, Pyra?"
We were asked by Scotland Yard to take care of some serial killers.
And it screams like a dying bird, interrupting the peace and solitude of my home.
I didn't bring the man here.
He cracks it against your midsection, the cane against your midsection. Enough, mouth. He looks down at the flailing Patrick Fig, and he says, "This. What is this? A broken bird. A boy."
It's Patrick Fig from that case that came across our desk, the cannibals.
He glares over at you, Dr. Murdoch, for speaking up, but he doesn't silence you.
This is one of the few who tried to kill your niece, sir. And we're merely dealing with him.
Tried and failed. He like looks down at him and he says, "This is no monster, no beast. It is pathetic. It is not worth this sound and fury. Why not he like looks at you and says, "You are covered in blood. You have taken a life today."
Yeah. One of them's fucking dead.
Well, what I see before me is a cowering, insane child. A caged bird is sadder than a dead bird. Put him in bedlam. I do not want my cobbles sullied with this unworthy blood, and I do not wish to have my guest interrupted with such dark business on this fine day. Do you understand me, Pyra? I do not want this bloodshed on grounds when I have guests on the premises. You will take him to bedlam alive. You are taking this too personally. You are losing focus of what matters.
I hold up the necklace. This was on Obert's person. Tell me I'm taking this too personally.
He looks at the necklace, recognizing it. And it would be better to know how he acquired such an item.
Give him the note.
He glances over at his guest. The guest shrugs. You will send him to bedlam alive, and you will look no further into this matter. He takes the note and he folds up, and he also snatches the necklace away from you.
I try to hold on to it just for a second.
Yeah, there's a slight resistance, and he kind of like, his eyes narrow at you.
The doc kind of puts a hand on your shoulder, Pyra. I will make sure that matters are tended to. For now, he is damaged. I'll take him to my infirmary, and then we will take him to bedlam. Yes? And
if
he gives you a look, Pyra.
Find out that he did not make it to bedlam alive, you will no longer be welcome here, boy. You will pack your things and you will leave. Am I understood?
Understood. And the doctor gives Pyra a knowing look, and he's gonna take Patrick to the infirmary.
Pyra looks like a caged animal.
Uncle Pavel looks over to the man in the tweed suit and he says, "I apologize, Mr. Higgins, for interrupting our business affairs." And the gentleman in the tweed suit gives a light shrug, and Uncle Pavel says, "Please, I will consider what you have told me." He's saying this a little bit in private, but you overhear it. "Thank you for coming by." And Uncle Pavel returns inside, and the man in the tweed suit looks over at you, Pyra, with this curious glance. Kind of like walks over to you. Kind of eyes you up and down.
Can I help you?
Are you going to continue being a thorn in my employer's side?
Excuse me?
Do you know what happens to people who cross her?
Her?
What if I told you I happen when people cross her?
Not that frightens you.
Do you suppose I have a gun in my coat?
She just looks down at herself. Do you think I haven't been shot before?
Would you guess that I'm a very good shot?
Would
He
you also guess
smiles.
that you are surrounded?
And also on my uncle's property, and as much as he may hate me, I'm his best hunter. Would you really kill the legacy of Hargrave House and incur his wrath?
Do you think I think so highly of you?
No, but I hope you think highly of him if you're willing to work with him and you know what he's capable of.
And what would that be?
You're here. You know.
And why do you
You're
reckon
in-
I'm here?
Well, now I'm thinking it's because you're making more trouble for us. And I walk past him and start going inside.
He kind of stands there alone in the garden, alone with you, Dr. Murdoch, and then he looks over at you.
I'm still on the porch as
Yeah,
well
you are.
watching this.
I'm-
I've dropped the apple core and I lit a cigar and I'm
I
just
think
sitting there.
I think I've come out onto like my bedroom balcony and I'm looking down at this.
I'm not sure what you or your employer are planning. I feel like I've seen bits and pieces before, but just a small recommendation, just so everyone makes it out in one piece. Don't. And he's gonna take not allowing him to respond. He's going to take Patrick by the collar.
Yep.
And he's just gonna take him to the infirmary.
As you drag him away, he does, Mr. Higgins' call after you. He says, "Do you remember August the 11th? And hearing that date, August the 11th is one of your night work nights when you got a lot of bodies done. Do you think
Like it was
nobody?
yesterday.
Do you think nobody saw you?
An eye for an eye, and the world goes blind. Keep that in mind, yes?
And he walks away.
Yeah,
And he
so,
passes by you, Ross.
Does he pass by Ross?
Yes, he does.
Ross is gonna say, "Always great to have you come and visit Hargrave House, Mr. Higgins." And he's gonna ash the cigar on his shoes. He's gonna go, "Do be kind to close the door on your way out. And if you want to, you can just wait for your ride to the left side of the door. Trash gets picked up by the lamppost today."
Fucking Ross has the
Doctor-
best fucking insults every time.
The doctor laughs as he just takes him to the fucking infirmary, and he's gonna wait for Pyra to come
Yeah.
around after giving her
Absolutely.
a knowing look. He's gonna keep Patrick in there.
Oh, Pavel is keenly watching because
Oh,
this
he's
was a
making
miss.
sure I don't do anything?
Because this was a miss, the situation is like you are now being forced to hand him in alive, essentially.
Fuck!
I
There's
know.
nothing you can do.
Oh, I wanted to take him apart. I wanted to.
I know.
No.
That's because she rolled a
I
miss.
wanted to give him to you. I so wanted to.
All right,
That's only
all
because it's a
right.
miss. If it were a complication, you would have gotten. He still would have died. But I feel like no, he is absolutely a miss. Is he is. You are You don't get the satisfaction here.
Okay. Yep. The doc patches him up, takes him off to Bedlam.
And with that said, with you passing off to Bedlam, I think we can end a little early today. We can do Stars and Wishes after a short break, and we can do a Dusk phase and following Night phase next time on The Between. So thank you all very much for tuning in, distinguished guests, and also thank you to my hunters for playing. I am so excited to be back. And we will see you next week, same time, same place, for Chapter 10 of The Between. Until then, sleep well and rest easy, for the night is dark and full of terrors. Good night.